Yeah, hi there, and these comments, I'm just using your initials HZ, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you completed an integrated speaking practice test, I think it's number 6, and I'm pretty sure this is probably the most difficult practice test I have at my website, no joke. Alright, so let's listen to how you answered this question.
The reading passage discusses the danger of nuclear energy, and the lecture gives an example that illustrates one of these dangers.
Yes, very good, strong introduction. Now your tone is a little bit flat, so you want to work on varying your tone a little more than you're doing, right? So go to pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. That'll give you some tips on how you can vary your intonation.
First, the reading passage claims that the uranium not only can be used for produce energy, but it can be also used for weapons.
Okay.
Moreover, the International Atomic Energy Agency has difficulty to monitor or supervise all
Exactly. This is important because this is a key point from the reading
the
passage.
country's nuclear activities. In other words, the IAEA cannot know if these countries using the uranium for weapons or for energy.
Exactly.
In addition,
not bad. So you're at about 34 seconds. You're now making the transition to the lecture. So you're presenting a fairly balanced discussion of both
the
sources.
lecture explains that there is a risk of using the nuclear energy, which is risks of possible accident that might cause a disaster. For example,
Okay, let's take a look at that. It took you a little bit long making that transition here. Let me check it again.
if these countries using the uranium for weapons or for energy. In addition, the lecture explains that there is a risk of using the nuclear energy, which is risks of possible accident that might cause a disaster.
So you can probably say something like this. You can say, might say, in addition, the lecture gives an example to illustrate the concepts of the dangers of nuclear energy. Something along those lines.
For example, in 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear energy power plant exploded and caused disease, environmental pollution, and cost the former Soviet Union economically. In conclusion,
That, it caused them what now? Hold on.
economically. In conclusion, both the reading and speaking environmental pollution and cost the former Soviet Union economically.
So it caused, I would say it caused them to suffer economically, right? Now what I like about what you're doing is you're not trying to explain all the points in the lecture. This is a good strategy, so you're condensing the most important ideas from the lecture into 3 key areas. Right? So, but that last part, the economically thing, you weren't exactly clear what effect it had on them economically. We know, according to the lecture, that the damage or the cost of the Chernobyl accident cost more money than all of the money generated by the nuclear energy that was generated from the 1950s all the way into the 1980s. So it was the most expensive nuclear disaster in Russian history, probably in world history.
In conclusion, both the reading and speaking passages explain the risks of using the nuclear energy.
Not bad, and this
The reading passage discusses
was a tough one too. This was hard, no joke. Alright, so let's take a look at the rubrics now. So take a look at that. So I think overall your topic development was actually pretty good, I think, except maybe in the lecture you didn't exactly explain that idea of the economically thing. How did it affect Russia economically or the Soviet Union economically? We know it had adverse economic effects on them, so you weren't exactly clear on that point. Language use, vocabulary, and grammar, I think, was pretty good for the most part. Delivery, you want to work a little bit more on your intonation. So intonation means you have to vary your tone a little bit more than you're doing right now. That is definitely one improvement that you can make with this. Okay, so still I think it's a good response, right? So I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Now for the purposes of our class, if we take a look, 3.0 is going to put you at 96%. All right?